What's up, everyone? It's Jimmy and Frank we're the Mile High Treasure Hunters. We're doing our third live video here, and just gonna take the first couple minutes, just welcome everybody that comes in. I gotta mute that. Damn it! See what I did? I already messed up. There we go. Forgot to mute that. Sorry. So yeah, I know there's a little delay when people's chats start showing up. So during that, while we're welcoming people in that delay, I just want to go over a little shameless plug here. So I'm getting close to 200 subscribers, guys. I'm 10 away, and I have this $25. It's not 200. It's $25 eBay gift card that I'm going to be giving away. When I get to 200 subscribers, I'm going to do a giveaway video. So I'm going to ask you guys, help me give this away. That's my way of saying, I'm not going to beg for subscribers, but help me. I'm going to beg you to help me give this away, guys. I want to give this away, but I'm not going to do it till I get to 200 subscribers. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell any other resellers you might know that if you want, come check out the video, subscribe, and they have a chance of winning $25. So, come check it out, subscribe, and we're really close. And so what I'll do is I'll do a randomizer. So when I do the video for the giveaway, I'll ask you to leave a comment down below, and if you leave a comment, you have a chance of winning that gift card. So definitely come and check us out. Subscribe. Also subscribe to Frank's store. That should be linked soon. 1 second. I will link Frank's channel in the chat as soon as I remember what I did with it. I lost the link. All right, so that's just a little thing I wanted to touch on real quick. Is that giveaway that I'm doing? We got Joseph in the house. Joseph, I just made you a moderator, so you're able to. I think I did. Yeah, so you can leave links and stuff in the chat. So if you want to leave a link to anything, you can leave it there. Joseph's going to help us with adding, and when Dan comes in, both of them are going to help us with adding links to our channels and our whatever. If we ask for a link in the chat, they're going to help me with that. Since I am learning how to navigate all this right now. And, hopefully, not hopefully, but when we grow and we have more people in here, it'll definitely be more tricky to keep up with the chat. And, hey, there he goes right there. See, he did it. He beat me to it. So, yeah.
So what's good going on now, Jimmy? I'm back from New York. Made it just in time. They did a full lockdown, I guess, as of this morning. So right out of the nick of time. So, but I just wanted to briefly mention that just to say I want to avoid as much of the COVID-19 conversation as possible. And let's just have a good time and some fun on a Friday evening.
Right.
And talk about everything besides that. So,
yeah, I'll give you guys
viewing whatever you guys want to talk about. Let's do it. Let's get this show going and have some fun tonight.
Right. Any questions? Yeah, if you have any questions about the virus, now is the time. We're going to do maybe the first 5 minutes. We'll take those questions. After that, I want to, give people a chance to come into the view, and then we will move on to toys, video games, the kind of stuff that we like to sell. If you guys want to just totally skip the virus talks, that's fine with me. Let's go straight into it. Let's start off with this. How are sales while you were on vacation?
For me, I have 17. I'm shipping out I was actually doing that before we got on live. So I got about halfway through those orders. Plus I had to sit there and try to remove my handling time. I had to change my handling time and my vacation time. So that takes time. I'm sure most everybody knows this by now, but I even tried to call eBay's concierge to have them change that for me.
Nope.
And nope, they've got another website to go to for sellers only. So I mean, there's literally no communication on the eBay side via phone. So
I don't know about that, Dan. I
what do they
can't.
do? Do they
Honestly,
just
I'm
rock?
saying I don't know about that. I don't own a single Apple product. I think I had a iPod and I sold it on eBay. So I have nothing Apple. So I'll take your word for it. I trust you. What kind of stuff did you sell? Did you sell anything cool? Anything?
I sold some ink cartridges, some of the bigger ones, the big Brothers ink cartridges.
Brothers, man.
Brother, hey there. I actually sold a Michael Jackson poster from the 1984 Victory World Tour. We sold one of those XFL pennants, so I only have like 148 to go to sell.
The stack went from that big to that big.
Yeah, I think it actually grew instead of shrunk when I pulled that off. But yeah, I mean, it was all over the place.
You know what?
That's everything.
That's kind of sucks. The XFL, the chances of it surviving this, I'd say is 0. I mean, you want to talk about feels bad, man. The XFL tried to launch the new league, and they actually were doing halfway decent in some cities, and then this thing happened, and I don't think it's going to make it through it. I think it's like the worst possible timing for the XFL. That sucks.
Yeah. Joe, you asked how was it like to be the king of New York? It was, like I said, talked the other day. I mean, Amanda and I literally had the city to ourselves. We took a $250 buggy ride through Central Park. I was able to talk the guy down to $60. So sadly, that's how desperate they are out there for business. But it was a blast. I mean, we're glad to get home though. Hey Dan, I'm gonna show you something real quick. You just brought that up. I'll be right back. I'm surprised I haven't been able to sell this yet. I got everything you need for your Michael Jackson costume, Talking about the glove and whatnot. Hey, just sold something. Sold a Brothers.
You sold
another printer. Cool, that'll work.
I don't know a lot about that, Joseph. I just know that they were talking about it on the radio, and the XFL was doing good, so maybe they will survive it. The XFL had like Seattle. I guess Seattle was doing really good, and I guess I'm not gonna go why. I'm not gonna go into a lot why it won't that topic, but
yeah, we were in Queens. That's why I put that picture on Facebook yesterday. I found my queen in Queens. That is an interesting city, definitely.
Right, Halloween will be here before we know it, and yeah, we're gonna all be eager to
just
get out.
Sold and got paid on that printer, so we're making money while talking about eBay. So that's always a good thing. How about you, Jimmy? How's your sales been this week?
Not terrible.
I know you kind of had a bunk last couple of weeks. Did it pick up at all this week? Did you notice anything different this week?
I'm selling a lot of toys, so it's not terrible. I haven't been making. The main thing that's been affected is I haven't been making a lot of videos. I've just been like too busy with a lot of stuff. So I'm gonna try. I told myself next week I'm gonna get back to the video making. We lost Frank. I told myself I'm gonna try to get back to making more videos. This week was just a hard week to make videos. So Frank dropped out. I'll get him back as soon as he jumps in. I don't know if Vince McMahon, I mean, I know he has something to do with it. I know Fox has a lot to do with it. I think that was part of the deal because Fox, let's ask Frank because I know he'll know. Hey, Frank.
Yeah.
Does the Fox deal with the XFL also have a lot to do with the fact that wrestling is on Fox now? Are those two?
So I know, man, I want to say, because I know the WWE and Fox signed a monster contract to broadcast SmackDown live on Friday nights.
I'm wondering if the XFL was in some of the part of that deal. Like, was the XFL,
I can't remember who were the major broadcasting
maybe those
station.
I'm not sure.
Was it NBC is part of that package deal as well?
I don't know.
I honestly don't know off the top of my head.
So the only XFL I saw this year, they were streaming all their games on YouTube. So I watched probably 15, 20 minutes of a game the other day, or back when it was still on YouTube. It's kind of funny to watch them because you're more distracted by it because it has the live chat going, and I'm just like totally distracted by the all the trash talking going on in the chat. It's actually, that's actually a really good idea. I mean, if you can control it, live streaming a game like that, because the fans they're talking trash in the chat, and it's kind of funny, and that might be another thing that the XFL introduced that might be something that can transition, because who doesn't want to be on a live stream and able to talk trash to the other fans,
The one part I thought was interesting that I thought was a pretty neat concept was the way they handle the kickoffs.
Yeah.
Where the kickoff team can't move until the guy actually catches the ball.
It just seems weird, though.
It's weird. It's weird to adapt to, but a lot of people don't understand it. They did a great documentary on the 30 for 30 about the original XFL and how it was failed. But a lot of people don't realize how much the NFL, I don't want to say stole because they didn't steal anything, but what they took from the XFL, like the sky cam that gives us the 360 view of the field during that, at Monday Night Football games and all that came from the XFL. Vince McMahon and his production company were the ones that embraced that concept, and then the NFL ended up taking it afterwards. So,
right.
It is.
Wait, I want to see what's this one. I haven't read that one yet, man. I haven't read it. A lot of people have shared it to me. I have not read it.
So basically, the Reader's Digest version was these two brothers jumped at the opportunity a couple weeks ago, started driving all over, I think, Kentucky and Tennessee, buying up all the sanitizer.
Yeah.
Threw it on Amazon, selling it anywhere from, I think, upwards of $80 was the most I think they got for a bottle or something. And then obviously eBay and Amazon stopped the sale of that stuff. And so then they were upset because they were stuck with like 17,000 bottles of hand sanitizer.
Right.
And then the Attorney General from Tennessee, I believe, was going to do something to them. So they landed up donating it all to whatever.
I mean, real quick, I don't know all the details, but state of emergency, there's laws against that. So once those were declared, there was nothing they could do. Yeah, I agree, Dan. I agree. Why not? I just think they should just get rid of it. Just get rid of kickoffs if they're gonna, I mean, the XFL one looks so weird though, because it looks like a bunch of Heisman Trophy winners just standing there waiting for the kickoff. Like, I don't know. I thought it was weird. I think it's weird. What was I gonna say? I forgot. So any other questions out there, guys? So yeah, I've been selling toys really good. I sold 2 more Power Rangers. I sold a Halo model kit. What else did I sell? Let me see real quick. Let me see if I can. I just sold another. So I've already sold 2 of those Star Wars figures that I just got. I sold 2 Han Solos already. I sold that Pokemon binder. I sold a Bionicle. So yeah, toys are just kind of still. I finally sold a bunch of Pez dispensers I've been trying to get rid of. Man, I'll never buy a Pez dispenser again. Those things have been taking up so much room on my shelf. I literally gave them away. I was done with them. Yeah, I sold a little Star Wars BB-8 remote control. It's like a remote control you can use your smartphone on. Here, I'll bring it up. I know people like to see. I'm going to do a little bit of screen sharing just to. So I sold this remote control BB-8 right here.
Hey Joseph, real quick, once Jimmy's done here, I'll address your question.
Oh, so this remote control BB-8 right here, you can control it with your phone. It was pretty cool. It wasn't very big. It was the size of like, it's maybe 4 or 5 inches tall. It has a remote that comes with it, but then you can also use your phone to control it. Sold that for $60 plus shipping. So, yeah, toys have just kind of been doing really good. So I'm thankful for that. Let's see Joseph's question.
Yeah, Joseph asked a question about different methods of sourcing, and I would throw the question out there for anybody who wants to answer this. How soon or has thrift stores been shut down in anybody's cities out there? I know I've seen through some Facebook posts and whatnot that in other cities they've shut down the thrift stores, various thrift stores throughout the country. So I'm kind of curious to see how soon
California
that happens here.
Yeah. A lot of California, they're all closed. I don't know if you watched Matt, the part-time picker, at all. He said he's doing online auctions and stuff like that, and he's sourcing actually on eBay. I'm holding back just for a little while. Thankfully, my wife works, Sonia works, and I'm just holding back on it. I'm not going to source as much. We'll see. I have the inventory to get by. I'm gonna start listing some of my old sports cards. I know that it's just if I can get a couple of them to sell, it's worth it. I have some stuff out in the garage I can still list that I've been just sitting on, so I'm just gonna hold back. It sucks. I don't want to. I want to go to a thrift store, but I'm not gonna go. So
yeah, Joseph. The other method of sourcing obviously would be garage sales. Obviously, well, here in Denver, the weather's taking care of that issue right now.
You're gonna make me cry with the whole yard sale thing. I was so looking forward to yard sales, man.
I know. And I don't know how much that's going to affect it later once the weather clears up, and that'll remain to be seen if the people will still have their garage sales and stuff.
So I was supposed to go to Arizona next week, right? Next weekend I was going to be going to Arizona. I had to cancel that. I was going to go there to go to yard sales because it's prime. It was supposed to be prime yard sale season in Arizona, so I was going to drive down there for a weekend, literally as a business trip. I was going to write it all off, and I had to cancel that because there's not going to be any yard sales, and I don't want to spend that much money right now. I want to avoid. I'd rather source online and use the gas money or whatever I was going to use to get out there and source online instead, because there's not going to be a lot. It'd be more of a social visit, and I'm supposed to be social distancing, so I just had to cancel the trip. So I'm going to slow down. I'm going to look online a little bit. I just got an email from an estate sale company. So a lot of this that's something, Frank, by the way, a lot of the local estate sale companies are doing online auctions now. So go to that estatesale.net and look at their ads. A lot of them are auctions now, so keep an eye out for that. You can do an online auction. So you can do an estate sale online auction. Another one is, this is definitely a sensitive subject in our community. There's shopgoodwill.com. In case you guys don't know, that's why I don't donate to Goodwill. I don't think Goodwill is a terrible company, but I don't donate to Goodwill because they cherry pick the stuff and they sell it online. There's shopgoodwill.com now, and there's multiple Goodwills selling on eBay and Amazon throughout the country. A lot of them, not multiple, a lot of them. And so, but you can still find decent deals, but they're like Goodwill, shopgoodwill.com, I think is mostly auction based. So sometimes the stuff gets run up, but you can still buy stuff from like Goodwill online. So that's an option. The thing that really sucks about it all is our margins are going to be like our margins aren't going to be as good as they've been. You're not going to find that $1 toy at a yard sale or anymore. Until for now, you're not going to find a dollar toy at a yard sale.
Yeah, so Dan, I agree with your sentiment of kind of stockpile some cash now for when things finally settle down. We can start working or sourcing again once we all get back to normal again. So, and to answer a previous question you had, Dan, about I've actually seen a few Teddy Ruxpins, but for some reason people think they're like they overprice, they overvalue what they think they're worth. So I've never actually bought one because they just wanted too much money.
So there's one at the.
Wasn't there one at the Arc?
There was one recently at the Mile High thrift store. I didn't buy it though. It was a vintage one, but the box is all ripped up. It's missing half the box. I looked it up. If that box would have been complete, I definitely would have bought it. But it's literally missing half the box.
Yeah, and I noticed I was driving by the Mile High Flea Market today, and they got the big banners up saying closed until further notice. So the flea market's completely shut down as well.
Right.
So that sucks too.
Who's that? I see a shoulder.
That is my thrifting partner in crime. Came
What
to
up,
stop by
Petey?
to visit.
What's up, everybody?
So any viewers out there watching this live or in the future, I talk about my brother, the sorcerer. This is him right here. So he was just mentioning to me that and I don't know if you notice up the walls and whatnot at the thrift stores, but I guess thrift stores are all cutting their hours back too. So where they may have been open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., it's like 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. now or whatever. So
Oh, shit.
why do you blame Mark Wahlberg? Did he take a walk on the wild side or?
They're stupid. Uh-oh, hey-oh. I just got a sale myself. Let's see what we sold. Oh, that's another thing that's selling is PC games. A lot of PC games have been selling. Sorry. We're not quite as popular today as we've been in the past. We got 4. I appreciate the 4 of you that are here. We've got 2 people that are out there that aren't chatting. Let's hear what you got to say. Right.
Joe's just a little salty because one of his friends made a comment that Joseph was one of the smartest people he knew, and I said, well, when that group of people is so small, it's not hard to be the smartest person you know. And then she followed up with, yeah, she knows like a couple people, but 2 of them are her cats. So I told the girl that she was my new favorite person now for picking on Joseph. So,
man,
there you go. See,
I don't do math, man. Thanks.
Hold on, carry the 1.
Hold on. So, Petey, have you been out sourcing at all? Have you found anything? Or are you laying low too?
I actually went out yesterday to the Arc on 120th. Not much there. The shelves are full of stuff, of course, unless it's a half price day. They're just overpriced stuff. I mean, a lot of it, but they were full. Usually the toys are usually picked through, but they were like overflowing. I mean, big time.
A lot of shoppers there, or were there a lot of people there, or was it just
not a lot of people? No, there was. I bet the one I went to, there was maybe 5 or 6 people. And then the Goodwill, the new one on 104th in Washington, wasn't even open yesterday. I had to go out to the grocery store and get a couple things, but it was closed down. And then that's when I saw the Arc on was it 90th or something, Washington. They're starting the 23rd, I think, Monday. I think they're only open until 7 o'clock now, instead of 9. So they're cutting back on their hours there. I've got a couple things, not too bad. We'll see how Frank thinks about them, and then I'll go from there.
Is there anything like those Is there anything like those? What are they called? Furbies. You'll be all right.
Furbies and posters, you know.
Because wasn't that Michael
Hey,
Jackson?
we're making
poster
fun of
that
you,
long?
not me. All right. Sorry. What's up?
I don't know where we got that Michael Jackson poster.
I think it was in that lot that I got with the Undertaker and the other ones we sold.
Listen, we're not making fun of me. We're not making fun of me right now. We're making fun of the Furbies.
Where's Joseph at when we need him?
I was like, hey, you know, it's a lot of work to list a poster. I don't know if that was a good buy. He's like, shut up. Let me show you.
Well, you know what? I think that's part of the fun of it is, I mean, you know, there's been times my brothers brought some stuff to me, and I'm like, dude, this is garbage. Why are you buying this crap? And then I gotta, you know, scrape the egg off my face because the stuff sells, and I'm like, dude, what the hell? I mean, it's you know, but you know, you never know. I mean, it's just, you know, it's sitting there, you know, we're listing the right things, and I don't care what it is. If it's good inventory, it's gonna sell.
There's stuff on my shelf that's been sitting for a while that I thought for sure was gonna sell right away, and vice versa. There's stuff that I listed. I was like, okay, well, this is just gonna sit for a while, and it sold right away.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's just like,
yeah, I'm looking at walls of stuff in my eBay room right now, of stuff that doesn't sell, and I'm like, man, when I bought that, I knew that was gold. I knew that was money in my pocket when I bought it, and I'm like, why am I still looking at it? So you're telling me I shouldn't have bought that Let's Make a Deal electronics game for, you know, but
Raiders. Hey, Raiders stuff does. Hey, I did really good on one of my best sales ever is some Raiders merch, Joseph.
Hey, speaking of football, did you see the Broncos sign Melvin Gordon today, or he's
did?
Yeah, 2 years.
Not that it matters, but
which will be interesting to see with you know, we didn't talk about the other day when with all the conversation we had was the real news of the day that old Tom Brady is now expensive corn. He's Buccaneer.
You're stupid. Here we go. Frank's gonna get started with his puns. He's
And
a
then
Buccaneer.
what was his name? Todd Gurley got released by the Rams yesterday.
I saw that. Yeah. Broncos lost Chris Harris. That sucks.
To the Chargers, right?
Yeah, to the Chargers.
I guess it was like trading Chris Harris Jr. for Melvin Gordon, huh?
Right, and
I
then
like that. I mean, he's a touchdown scoring machine. I like it.
Joseph, your team got some excitement. They got
no, they highway robbery is what they got.
Yeah, they stole the wide receiver from
the best wide receiver. Yeah.
Yeah.
From Texans.
Yeah, that was you know, now as long as Gary Coleman can throw the ball over the offensive line, they'll be able to complete some passes and
As long as that little guy, the little person behind the center can find them, yeah.
And
There's
then
Dan knows. Me and Dan have joked about that a little bit about Kyler
you
Murray.
joked about it just a little, no pun intended.
Yeah, all Broncos go to the Chargers. There's been quite a few over the years. It hasn't helped the Chargers at all, though.
Right.
Don't make fun of Webster.
We were, you know, it's funny. We were actually gonna make our way up to the building that the show Different Strokes takes place at is still standing. We were actually gonna go take the train up to there. It's off of like 90th Street in Manhattan. I was gonna have Amanda stand in front of the building. She laughed at me because I said it was gonna be a picture of Different Strokes.
You're stupid.
Yeah, it was funny. She was that girl's a crazy though, man. All the stuff we take her to do when we go to New York, she's the happiest to ride the Staten Island ferry, and that's free. I'm like, this woman. Thank God she's a very simple woman. While you can look at me and see she keeps her expectations pretty low. So,
oh, shit. Hey, real quick, I wanted to show you this. I sold too. This This is a toy that is, I mean, this toy line from a video game is, this stuff flies off the shelf, man. Let me Halo. This sold $50 plus shipping. It's just a model kit for a Halo Master Chief figure. If you, I mean, have you guys found any Halo stuff recently? I can't even express enough. I sold that little mini figure. It was a little Lego figure that was a Halo figure. Halo flies off the shelf.
Where'd you get all these at?
Except I got those Star Wars ones.
I know, but I don't know where that was at.
This on the yard sale.
My brother found these. I don't know if you're familiar with these, Jimmy. They're Jada.
Jetta toys.
Yeah.
Metal figures, metal die cast.
Yeah.
They're the miniature ones. That should be good. Anything Halo is hot, man. Halo.
Yeah, we got the comps are like under $10 a piece for them, but we got like 30 of them that he found in a garage sale.
How much a piece?
Huh?
How much were they?
I paid for like after I got a bunch of them together, I paid like around 50-60 cents a piece for them. After
have you priced them yet? I mean, they're going to be
a bunch.
Good. I'm just curious how good.
I want to say I listed them like around $10 a piece because the comps weren't great on them. But with that being said, when you got 50 cents to cost into them,
I've sold some stuff. I sold some Marvel of those metal. They also make the bigger ones. Like I got this. Let me see. I'll show you another example of that metal die cast figs if my computer will work.
I'm sorry, I have them listed. They're like $4 a piece is all I have them listed for. The comps aren't great on them, but I have them listed for like $4 plus shipping. So
are there different characters, or are they all exactly the same?
No, there's a bunch of different ones.
I'd lot them up. I'd make lots similar. Like there's a blue one, a red one, and an alien or whatever. I'd lot them up. Lots always do something. Man, my computer can't handle this right now. I was going to show you another example, but my computer just can't handle.
Yeah, Joe, I've been telling Jimmy about those for a while. He doesn't listen to me, so
I'm going to throw Frank under the bus now. We were at an ARC, and I've made over $100 on those dyno trucks. We were at an ARC, and Frank looked at the toys first, and then I went over to the toys after he was done, and I found 4 dyno trucks on the same shelves he just looked at. And I'd say maybe 4 or 5 days before that, I was telling him about dyno trucks. I've made over $100 on those dyno trucks that I found on those that day.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't. You know way more deep into certain toys than I'll ever know. I mean, I try to. I dabble in some toys, but I'm nowhere near as up on them as you are.
Right.
Unless they're packaged, and you can look at them that way.
Yeah.
Because I'm the same way. When I went yesterday, like I said, there was a bunch of loose figures around, but I have no idea what who's good or not. I saw an all black figure that I thought might be good, but I couldn't see who it was or who it was, and so I passed on it. So I gotta educate myself too on that stuff, especially the loose stuff.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I know a decent amount, but it's weird because like I know there's toys that I just see them and I know they're good, but I might not even know the guy's name sometime. Like I have a bad memory from the stuff I watched when I was a kid. Like I recognize them, I know the character, I remember watching them in the cartoon, I remember having the toy, but can I remember his name? Heck no, I can't. That happens to me all the time. Like I'll be like, I know this is obviously you can tell Masters of the Universe, but I'll be like, I know this is a G.I. Joe, or I know this is a, whatever. But I know you guys. This is Ben 10, or I know, but I don't know the name of the character. That happens to me a lot.
And I didn't want to send some to you, Jimmy, and miss Markham from Marvel to DC or something. I don't want to get yelled at by you for that.
Hey,
so
I did it in a video.
I passed. So you have to show me some stuff, on that stuff because I don't want to get scolded for naming something the wrong franchise because you're pretty brutal on Frank about that. So.
Hey, Dan, and you actually were reading my mind because I was like, yeah, he doesn't remember like all these action figures, but he remembers some obscure show that I still do not know that show that you keep talking about, the Silverhawks.
But it's not obscure when it was your favorite cartoon.
I know, right?
I love that cartoon. I want to find the theme song, the opening cut scene. I love that song.
I know you guys were talking about your cartoons. You guys like watching. I used to like watching. I don't know if anybody knows this, Roger Ramjet, and George of the Jungle and all those when I was little.
I remember George.
Nobody knows about them.
I remember George of the Jungle.
Yeah, Roger Ramjet was one of my favorites. And
what about Evil Knievel?
What?
What about Evil Knievel? Did you like Evil Knievel?
I got issues with that. I get flashbacks from that. Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to get on with you guys when you guys were talking about that chat, and it reminded me when I was little, when that first came out. My mom used to yell at me because I used to play with him a lot, and he'd get dirty, so I used to take off his removable jumpsuit. And I used to literally wash a whole load of clothes, the water worth, for the one little jumpsuit that I used to wear. It was about 5 or 6 inches long, and throw it in the wash and in the dryer after that. So she used to yell at me and say, "Why are you wasting so much stuff?" I go, I got to clean it. It's got to have a clean outfit. So she used to yell at me about that.
Do a whole set it to large hot water.
Well, you gotta make sure it was wide, so you gotta get that.
You're not gonna hang dry that either. You gotta put it in the dryer and run the dryer.
And it was funny when Frank was talking about he found I think it was was it a Repop one?
Yeah.
When was it KB toy stores and all them were going out of business? Man, I went to one. I believe it was at the Westminster Mall, and they had shelves of them that were selling, because they were going out of business for $20, $30, whatever, just trying to get rid of all their stuff. And hindsight's 2020, and I wish I would have loaded up on not only that, but everything else that we're selling now. Back then, when they were going out of business,
he was being cheap. He wanted to go to Blackhawk instead, so
back then I weighed my options what I wanted to do.
For you that don't know, Blackhawk is the casino town here in Colorado, and most of the valets up there know PD by his first name.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, one time, here's a quick funny story. Me and my brother were joking about going to Blackhawk, and Amanda was complaining to me that we go too much. And I said, Amanda, no, we don't. And she's like, so we finally convinced her to go with us up there, nagging the whole time. So then we pull up to the valet, and the first thing the valet driver says is, "Hey, Frank, you drove your Camry today instead of your Grand Am, huh?" And so the fact that he knew me by my first name and he knew the different cars we drove up there, needless to say, the look she gave me let me know how she felt, and I still feel it to this day. She's still so.
Well, I know that true. There's only one other person that this guy right here on the screen, right there. That's the winningest, luckiest casino. I can't point at it for some. Right there, Mr. Cappuccino Eyes. That guy always wins at the casino, man. You'll be sitting there all mad because you're losing money, and he's over there, his lights going off. He's waiting for the guy to come cash him out. Come on. I remember I went with him one time, and he sat down for 5 minutes, and he's standing around just doing nothing. I'm like, "What are you doing, Dan? What are you doing?" He's all, "I already won." You've been here for 5 minutes, man.
Hey, Dan, let me know which arrives first. I'm curious. You'll finally answer that age-old question.
Yeah. So, find any good vintage T-shirts, Mr. Vintage T-shirts, man?
Me or my brother?
Either one. You guys are the T-shirts. So these guys are the T-shirt guys. They're always on the hunt for vintage T-shirts. They find some pretty good ones. Anywhere from a $200, $300 rock T-shirt to a $40 or $50 vintage Harley shirt or whatever, or vintage not as popular concert T-shirt. They're always finding them and selling them.
But speaking of, I'm sure everybody's seen the joke going around about they were talking about maybe like concerts playing to empty arenas or whatever, and everybody said well, Nickelback's been doing that for years. we actually sold a Nickelback concert shirt this week. So I thought it was kind of funny with all those memes going around about Nickelback, and we actually sold one.
Right.
But I mean, we sold a few concert shirts. We sold a Harley shirt this week. Sold a Derek Jeter I'm the Captain Now shirt or something like that. It has all the different all-star patches on it and everything. This guy over here is the obscure shirt that I look at some of the stuff. He's like, hey, I bought this shirt. It's a blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
it's a Tommy Hilfiger sailing shirt you wear while you're sailing.
Yeah.
Well, there was a sweater. What was the kind of material it was? Remember the one I
believe it was floor mat. I believe the material was front door floor mat.
Right. Well, yeah, it was a deep pile Tommy Hilfiger jacket.
There was a pullover with a hood. It kind of looked like what beans come in the material almost.
Yeah.
Like
a bag.
Yeah, like what do they call those sacks? Those
the rice.
Yeah, like burlap almost.
Yeah.
It looked like Sylvester Stallone made a jacket out of it in the first Rambo movie, is what it looked like.
But anyway, so I bought it. I looked at it. I was at a thrift store, and Frank told me, big block, Hilfiger, spell out. So I laid it out. I took a picture of it. I sent it to him, and he goes, "It doesn't look vintage to me." And I said, "Well, you told me this, so I'm going to take a chance." I think I paid up for it. I think I paid $13 for it. Frank, I'll let
Which is a lot for us.
Back in the day. And this is when I first started, like a couple months after helping him look for stuff. I actually started myself because I was like, why am I giving him stuff? But anyway, tell the story.
So literally, I sat on this jacket for probably a week and a half. Just kept looking at this ugly ass jacket that is never going to sell. But my death pile was getting low, so I'm like, okay, getting desperate to list things to sell. Throw it up on eBay, put it for like $159.99.
Oh yeah, $199.
And like literally within 5 to not even 10 minutes after listing it, boom, sold out the door. And I'm like, once again, egg on face. I'm embarrassed. Couldn't believe I sat on this jacket for so long, and then it sold. So yeah, so I tell anybody, any listeners, viewers out there, man, don't be afraid. Especially if you can get it cheap, go for it, because you'll never know. I mean, I sat on that shirt or that jacket it was a deep pile Hilfiger big block. I don't know what the heck it was. It was early in our reselling career, and I just thought it was an ugly old jacket.
And I think after we looked at it, I think it was in the 90s or mid or late 90s or something. So it was, or 80s. 80s or 90s.
Yeah, Joe, I can answer your question right now on that. I've got a Star Wars Playmates set vintage from like 1990 that we bought in an estate sale, and I thought, man, this is gold. I mean, we're gonna flip this fast and it's gonna sell, and almost a year later it's still sitting on my shelf, and I'm like, man, I couldn't give that away if I tried right now.
Nothing. I mean, I know I've made mistakes, but nothing comes to mind that was like I thought for sure it was gold and then it wasn't.
I will say this though, Jimmy, and you're the same as I am. The good thing about it is typically the worst. If I were to say any of the thing that would have been the worst mistake we ever made, I could tell you whatever it is, we didn't spend no more than $15-$20 on something. You know what I mean?
I'm just now starting to get into spending more than I should. I'm not going to call that the big buy of toys that I made. I'm not going to call it a mistake, but with what's going on right now, I wouldn't have done it if I could go back.
Right.
It's just going to be a long time before I make any money off that deal. But yeah, so other than that, for the most part, I don't spent a lot on inventory. Right. Ah!
It's my daughter, Samantha, out there. Any viewers out there watching? My daughter Sammy. She said, "Dad, can I be in your video?" And I told her no.
He really didn't. I didn't really ask him if I could be in. I just walked in and sat down. So he's got me now.
But we're live from Commerce City, Colorado. Everybody out there, hey, Spirit Fingers.
Spirit Fingers.
Hey, Dan, you want my
Yeah,
Millennium
Dan.
Falcon over here? I'm trying to get rid of it before my brother's foot falls asleep when he lands on it and crushes it. So,
That only happened once, and it happened to be like one of the first ones that came out, and ruined my friend's collection. So, but he was forgiving. His last name was Church, so he forgave me.
of course, that was in like 1979 or something like that. So that thing was probably worth.
Oh, it was like brand new. He literally got it like a few days or maybe a week before I smashed it. Well, when your foot's asleep and you try to stand on it, there's gonna go bad. I think I even broke his. What's the fighter jet thing that looks like octagons on the side? Were they
A TIE fighter?
Those things? I broke one of them. One of the wings broke off of that. The one that what's the one that Luke Skywalker was flying in? The
X-wing?
I think I broke one of that. It was crazy. I broke, well, nowadays probably $1,000 worth of toys. Back then it wasn't probably that much. But.
Did you guys see my Star Wars skateboard that I found? Check this bad boy out.
Yeah, that R2D2.
And,
Did you try skateboarding on it yet?
Nope. I don't think it's graded that high. Oh, shoot. I think it would be
pretty sweet. Did you list it already?
Yeah, I just listed it the other day. I think I'm asking like 40 or 50 for it. It's vintage. It doesn't. There's no year on it, but I found other listings, so they had it as like 80. So
well, maybe if they stop having gas stations open, maybe that's going to be the next transportation.
Oh, that's where I stepped on it right there. I stepped on it right there. And I got my vintage Winnie the Pooh Legos that I found. That's worth some money too, man.
Actually, what I actually showed Frank yesterday when I was at the thrift store. I bought some, I guess called like squeaker toys. I guess you would call them. This is 7 Dwarfs, and they're from the 50s.
What?
That I bought, and it's like you guys said. Look at those grab bags. That's where I found these. I paid up for them. I paid like I think $18 for all 7 of them. But
see, but that's
a guy sold 5 of them. Not all 7. I got all 7. He sold his for $60+. So I think we can probably get maybe 80 or so for ours. But they come from the 50s, and they were in those grab bags like you guys are talking about. And I also found some other miscellaneous things in there that I think we sold some the cake toppers, peanut stuff, but yeah, those grab bag things are fun to go through.
Hey, Joseph, I think you and Rev probably live right by each other. I think he said he lives somewhere in Georgia, and I don't know if he saw that I was telling him that you live in Georgia. You guys probably aren't too far from each other. You guys should. I don't know how far, but he was talking about. I know he said you live in Georgia, right, Rev? I think you guys aren't too far from each other. If I just watched Rev's video not too long ago. That guy, he's killing it on sports cards, Petey. So Petey right here loves sports cards, and this guy Rev Resell, he does a lot of sports card sales right now. So I guess sports cards. I know you know this, Petey. They're making a comeback. He just got a LeBron James card and a Zion Williamson. Is that his name?
Yeah.
He just got a rookie card of his. He made like $500 off these 3 or 4 cards. It was crazy, and he knows a lot about that stuff, and I know you do too. If you get a chance, watch his videos. He sells a lot of sports cards, and
there's a surge in the thing that people are they're same thing they're flipping them pretty quickly. Right now, especially now this day, it's better than the stock market is, especially now.
Right.
But yeah, people are especially the rookie classes that are that come out. There's a specific brand that usually does real good, especially in basketball, Prism, and that's the ones that everybody looks for. But if you can find them sometimes at the store, but they're going crazy. But Zion Wilson, then the last couple of years ago was Ball brother that worked for the Lakers. Or was it Lorenzo Ball, maybe something?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he was a top one, and so on and so forth. There's just always, especially that brand. I think it's Panini Prism, or the real high end ones. And then obviously you go
Lonzo Ball. There you go.
Lonzo Ball, yeah.
Not that he turned out to be anything, but yeah, those. And then obviously any autograph Zion is right now is crazy, or anything of his is crazy right now. Even though they're down, maybe this time to buy, maybe at this time with people are gonna start to move stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I knew you. I used to know a lot about cards. I used to know just as much as you guys, but I haven't touched them in 20 years. I don't know. I know I still have some worthless 90s cards sitting in my closet. Actually, I think I have some decent ones. I think I'm gonna actually probably try to sell them. Just real quick, Rev, Petey right here, Frank's brother Petey. He was the clubhouse chef for the Rockies for how many years?
I did 4 seasons with
4 seasons
with them, and I did actually 21 before that with Aramark.
Right. So he worked for 20-something years. He worked he worked at Coors Field in the stadium, and then he got basically promoted to or hired on by the clubhouse, and he cooked for the players for 4 years. He would send pictures all the time of him with Troy Tulowitzki, John Gray, all these great players, Charlie Blackmon. So he was able to grow his sports card collection and memorabilia collection. It's like amazing. He has this basement just full of amazing collectibles.
Yeah, like most of my collecting on baseball cards is mostly for my personal collection, my Rockies collection, because I still like them. But the other memorabilia I have is because I used to be with the Rockies, so I could get them anytime I really wanted. So I always got stuff from the visiting teams that came in, the superstar players that were on the team, like Pujols and Ichiro and Mike Trout when they came.
Who was it that went to the All-Star game? The first baseman, wasn't it? Was the first baseman
from the Rockies?
He was your favorite Rocky.
Justin Morneau.
Yeah, Justin Morneau when he was with us for a while.
Yeah, he was on the team for a couple years, and he won the batting title in I believe 14, and he had my clubhouse manager buy 18 bottles of Dom Perignon champagne, and he had some etchings done on him commemorating his being the batting champion. And he actually had 18 bottles. There's only 18 in the world, and he was autographing them all. At one time, he had them on the table, and I jokingly passed by because I was going home for the day, and I go, so where's mine at? And I just laughed at him. He kind of gave me a smile, and I left for the day, and I came back the next day, and there was one sitting on my desk there. So I have one of 18 bottles that he had made that he gave to coaches and trainers and stuff like that. So
So I'm talking more on like a personal level. Like he's talking about how nice Justin Morneau was to him. I mean, he sounds like a great guy.
Yeah, I could sit down with him talk about. He usually talk about family more than work, to be honest with you. Yeah. And same thing. John Gray is the same way. When I worked for them, he was great. Well, when Tulowitzki was with the Blue Jays, when he came to visit Coors Field to play, he actually came looking for me in the clubhouse. Oh, not the clubhouse, but the kitchen, looking for me to come and say hello, and that's the way I was doing the family and stuff like that. And he,
that's awesome.
Just talked for a few minutes, and he was
I love hearing
my all-time favorite Rocky is Vinny Castilla. And he's still he's a personal assistant to the general manager there, but he's one of the top guys. I text him all the time for his birthday, see how his family's doing, and I've seen his kids grow from little boys, babies to college men and stuff. College men and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty fun. It was a good time at the time, but
I'd be interested to see those cards, Dan.
What has he got?
He's got a bunch of 90s NBA. Jordan still does good. Jordan. Oh yeah, that's right. Vinny. He says he's got some 90, mostly fly. Sorry, I should go get my cards. I got a box full of cards. I won't do it. I'm not gonna do that to you guys. But I got some cards. I mean,
they call the 90s the junk era.
I know.
thing of baseball cards, but there's players that were in the 90s. There's cards that go Derek Jeter, his rookie cards, if you can find them, because one of his cards has like foil that kind of went all the way around it. So you like to get them graded and stuff. If you get a 9 or a 10 or whatever, you're in the minority because they chipped all the time, all the edges and stuff like that.
Very true.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of cards like that, or if they have black borders or tough ones to do.
Rev was just saying, he was just saying that there's some people out there though that are doing pretty good with the what'd you call that era?
Junk era.
Junk era. There's some people that are starting to come back. Not the real junk, but like you said, certain cards from that era. There's people that are doing pretty good with some of the cards from that era.
Our local sports card shop we go to, a lot of his business is a lot of that stuff. People making sets still, believe it or not. He sells he does send out Amazon stuff. He sends out a bunch of, but he does quite well with single cards. I mean, he's shipping out hundreds a day, for people trying to make sets, because he has over, I think close to 1 million commons in his back storage thing that he's but he has them all organized. You can go right to the ones if they have it, ship it up, stuff, so.
Yeah, I was when I bought that lot of toys that I just recently bought, that guy had like a 6 foot tall pallet full of, those files that you put cards in? They're like cardboard file.
Yeah.
He had it was
monster boxes, they were called, or something.
Yeah,
like that.
monster boxes.
Monster box.
The big ones are 5,000 count, so you can.
It was 6 foot high, and it was 4 of them stacked around each other, and it was all just 80s and 90s baseball and basketball. And I happened to open up a drawer, and it was the year Ken Griffey Jr.'s Upper Deck year.
89 Upper Deck.
Because there was multiples. Like you'd go through it, and he'd have like 25 of the same cards. So, but he had cherry picked it, because I went to that Upper Deck set and went to one to see if the Griffey card was in there, the Griffey rookie. There was none in there, so he had already.
And that's usually the first one to find, because it's number one. Usually when they collate or made sets, that's the number one card. So,
well, he said he picked it up in he bought it in a. So it wasn't his set. He bought it in a storage auction. But he was already cherry picking it. He had pulled all those Griffey rookies out. Like, I was like, there's no way that he has 27 of every other card, and then there's no Griffeys. It's because he pulled them out of there.
And I remember back when I first started collecting cards and stuff, and then even in the 80s, because I started out back in like 84, but I was doing just basically football. And I remember going to a local card shop and seeing the 86 Flair basketball boxes sitting on my local card shop's shelf, not even thinking about buying basketball cards. And now, Michael Jordan cards, or, that's his rookie year in 86 Flair. And I did, and they were selling them for $1 or $2 a pack back in the day, because they were, but now a pack is, if you can find them, $5,000 a pack or whatever. And then if you find a full box, then you're talking thousands of dollars. And
just open them up on YouTube. You'll get a couple thousand subscribers right away.
Oh yeah, here's Frankie's favorite card, or his dream card he wanted. The old Chili Davis rookie card.
Man. Hell, we used to have an ongoing joke. We were always trying to find the Chili Davis rookie card, man. And that's when we were like 13. Come on, guys. We were.
Do you guys remember when they used to have the error cards? We used to go try and find. Like when there's an error on a card, you go one time. Me and Frankie we're on a reconnaissance mission, like we're in the military. Because we had found an error on, like, it was a Joe Montana card that ain't worth nothing back then. It ain't working nothing now. But they had put they mixed on the back the touchdowns and the yardage. So you had like 14,000 touchdowns and only whatever yards passing. So we're like, you go that side, I'll go this side. We're gonna go buy the cards like we were on a reconnaissance mission. And yeah, good thing we didn't buy any, because they were pretty worthless even then.
We're not gonna bring up the Juan Gonzalez reverse negative with Joseph here. And Joseph's trade, Joseph. What was the famous? What was the one that had the bad word on the bottom of it?
Billy Ripken.
Yeah, the F face. Yeah.
Yeah, there was the Billy Ripken '89 Flair. It had the F face written on the knob. Then they did the
scribble.
They did the whiteout, and then the
I
black
had
box.
one of them. I had one of them. I think I had the scribble.
Actually, I've had all the versions of that, and now actually people are looking for the F face one, and get them graded and stuff because now they're worth.
Is it worth a lot now? Joseph had a Juan Gonzalez reverse negative that he traded his entire Ricky Henderson collection for. To this day, I still feel so bad for him that some grown man swindled him and traded him a Juan Gonzalez. It was Juan Gonzalez reverse negative Donruss or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And he traded that card to Joseph for his entire Ricky Henderson. And Ricky Henderson was Joseph's favorite player by far, and he worked so hard to get this collection of Ricky Henderson cards, and he traded this whole stack of cards that he worked so hard to collect. Some guys told him that Juan Gonzalez card was going to be worth a bunch of money, and Joseph made the deal. And I found out about it. I felt so bad for him. I was mad at him, but in the same breath, I felt so bad because, man, you worked so hard for that.
He really got gypped because he was Ricky Henderson was known as the stolen base leader, right? So he got stolen big time.
Right,
so they stole from him big time for that.
But it's when I think about it, when I think back, Joseph was probably 15-ish, 14, 15. That guy was that was messed up. Like, he took advantage. He was a grown man ripping off some kid. Like, what a jerk. Sorry.
There was when we first moved to Arizona, we were stupid. We used to go swimming in November, and during the summertime we were swimming and we were jumping around, and this gentleman happened to jump in the pool and pretty much landed on Frank.
Tried to kill
him, but it was just an accident. So after I cussed him out and we actually squashed it, but I landed up going to his apartment to talk to him because I collected sports memorabilia and our cards at the time. So you can come and check out my collection. I swear to God, man, I thought I walked into like Cooperstown, or I think this guy had cards from every sport, from boxing from the 40s. I bet you he had Mickey Mantle rookie cards in there. He had 60s baseball, football. I mean, this guy had the biggest collection I've ever seen that was not crap stuff either, if you will. and he had a common thing was not only that, but he was a big wrestling fan as well. So. But I went in there and I had some current cards at the time, and he's like, well, I don't really have anything current. Bring some over. So I brought him some stuff, and we swapped. And of course, I didn't know nothing about the older baseball, but I mean, I probably could have got a Mickey Mantle rookie card out of him because he had probably had 3 or 4 of them at the time. But he had all that stuff, and I was just like, wow.
So, Petey, what's the best card you've ever had, or do you still have it?
My best card I ever had.
So what's the most valuable card, best card you ever had, and what's your favorite card you've ever had? And do you still have them?
I think my card I just got in the mail yesterday because I've always wanted one, and it happened to be one of my favorite players too. Is John Gray is one thing I bought on eBay. I bought it's called a Black Label BGS Black Label card. Basically, it's a 10 corners, 10 surface, 10 autograph, or 10 surface corners, and there's the 4 parameters on the thing. But it's called a Black Label 10, so it's all 10 of those autographed from his rookie year, 2013, I think. Nice. And I actually have 2 other ones of his that are one of ones of that same year. One's graded 9.5 and then a 10 on the autograph. And it's off by, I think, a 0.5 for being a Black Label one as well. But anyway, so I bought that because I trying to put this little collection together of graded stuff. So that's one of my favorites. And then, back in the day, of course, was my John Elway rookie cards. That I bought a whole set of that year, 84 Topps football.
You got another one, too. How did you get that other one?
Huh?
How did you get that other one that you got?
Which one's that?
I think you got one from some really cool guy in Arizona. I think you made a trade with him.
I don't remember that, but
I don't remember you guys. I got 2 Michael Jordan Beckett's from you for it. Remember? You don't remember?
Yeah, I got some the inaugural issues of Beckett, and I'm still got to go pick up my my Tough Stuff Junior that I put on layaway that I couldn't afford $3 to buy at the old card shop that Frankie keeps making fun of me on.
A double play.
The double play. Then again, there too was when we were all grown up. We moved there in '84, and they were there, and me and the owner shared the same birthday, so he used to get us a couple boxes of, like I said, it was a lot of junk era stuff, but he'd give us each a box, and we'd open up looking for the. Back then, I think they had a Mickey Mantle elusive autograph card that there's, 500 in the whole planet, so it was literally, I get struck by lightning, get over by a bus, a car, a train before I even find one. But we'd go to Denny's because they give you free meals for your birthday. So we spend the whole day. We go to breakfast,
right?
Then we go to lunch to a different one, and then go to dinner to a different one, and then we'd open our cards.
Go to the movies.
But
and then Russ would bleed all over him.
Yeah, Russ was a good guy, but he was a mailman for 30 years and retired, but he was up in Green Bay, so I think he's got frostbite a lot when he was doing this or something, because his hands were pretty beat up pretty bad, and it's like, yeah,
I remember that. I remember he had rough fingernails.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
but the guys were cool.
Yeah,
too,
I remember I was such a nerd, man. I remember every month when a Beckett would come out, I'd call down to Double Play and be like, "Can you look up the King Griffey, whatever card I had, how much it went up?" And I didn't want to go buy a Beckett because let's be honest, I was poor. So me and Joseph would be like, "Let me talk to him next. Let me talk to him next. Can you look up the whatever card? Can you look?"
Whose favorite play was that?
Look up your Pete Incaviglia 88 Topps card, see what it's worth.
Yeah, they used to have arrows going up and down. If they were going up and down.
It stayed the same. It's still only worth 95 cents.
And then now they still actually print Beckett, which nobody uses anymore because the prices on there are
you
ridiculous.
Look at my 87 Topps Kevin Mitchell. It'd be like, yeah, it's still only worth 65 cents. It hasn't gone up.
It's probably gone down by now, to be honest.
They had to hate that. They had thinking now, knowing what you know now, it's just two guys or one guy at a time working at a card shop, and their phone is just ringing off the hook. Kids won't stop calling us and asking how much cards are worth.
I think it might have just been you guys.
You don't do that all the time, man.
It'd be the first of the month. They're like, "Oh God, Jimmy's going to be calling us anytime."
We would try to save up money every month to buy a Beckett, but there were some months we couldn't afford a Beckett.
You're lucky caller ID didn't exist back then. They would have never answered the phone.
Put us on block. Yeah, but yeah, I love that store, Double Play, man. You guys live right by us, so you guys. Plus, we couldn't get a ride to go get a Beckett.
And I worked 3 stores down from there at UB, so.
Right.
But I used to go to the card shop first, then go eat wings because it'd be kind of messy to go get wings and then go touch the cards over there.
Life before dinner, but now it's just click YouTube or eBay solds. That's how much you find.
Right.
I need to go through all my cards though. With this downtime that we're gonna have on sourcing, I'm gonna list some of my cards, just if nothing else, to keep listings coming in, and I'll sell some of them.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go through my stuff because I've got some other players beside my Rockies that I bought that I got to go through. And like my memorabilia stuff that I got. I know it's all genuine, authentic because I got it from the clubhouses and the managers and this and that. But I know other people don't buy usually if they don't have a COA. But I can give them every proof they want.
You can't. I would think that's a. I know it's not a COA, but a lot of people accept if you work for the. Work for the Rockies, that's a.
Yeah, I can. Whenever if I was to ever do anything, I give them a proof. I'm in their media guide. I'm on a poster.
Yeah.
The team poster. I've got.
You've been
pictures, and I got all my. I'm gonna have to bring some pictures, give you guys to take some of the stuff I got. Because like I said, I've always collected a lot of stuff since I was a little kid, really. And they gave us nameplates for our lockers, and my boss used to get us 2, one for opening day and then one for the season. So for opening day, I'd have all the starting 9 and the coaches and manager autographed the opening day thing.
Yeah,
And then
you're
at
like
the end of the
in the
season
book,
or during the season,
and
I'd
you're
have
in
the
that
rest of
book
the,
too, right?
what's that?
Like your name's in that book too, right?
Yeah, I'm in the media guide. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can be like, and there's me, so you can
Yeah.
see that I worked there. Like I worked
And then I got my regular nameplate that I, at the end of the season, when they bring up all the, the extra people, and so I have the whole team autographed. So I've got 4 years of team autographed, stuff like that. I've gotten autographed champagne bottles when we went to the playoffs in 2008. Was it 18? Yeah, 18.
just a couple years ago, right?
I've got that was the funnest time. I gotta be honest with you, was being in the clubhouse when they do the champagne spray and thing. It literally went on for a half an hour. I was soaked from head to toe. They all got goggles on. I'm without goggles. I'm handing beers out to the guys, and champagne's going to my eye. And I got some pictures with Charlie Blackman and stuff, and then the whole thing. But the thing I was worried about is driving home because I smelled like alcohol, and I changed it to my clothes. Everything, but I was still, everything. And so I was like, oh, but I'll get pulled over because I'm not gonna believe I didn't taste anything, which I didn't because I know better. But that was a good time. And then actually, you were talking about my favorite. Card and stuff, but my favorite piece of memorabilia that I have is my 2007 National League Championship ring that I bought. That I got. That I got fortunate to buy one that, unfortunately, an employee had to pawn or sell his ring, and I was fortunate enough to be able to pick one up because I didn't work for the team at the time when they went. I was there, but didn't work for the actual team, so I didn't get one. But I picked one up in December of 2018 at a pawn shop and I got a box for it and everything. So it's pretty neat.
Hey, Joe. Yeah. Back in the day, I actually worked for a pawn shop, and we actually had to actually know the value of stuff, and we didn't have the internet available to us to just, look for internet to value something. We actually had to. It took some actual skill to actually work at a pawn shop and be a pawnbroker, and that was probably one of the best jobs I had. Though it was fun.
Have you tried sourcing at pawn shops?
I've got in there looking, but like Joe just said, I would hope to go into a pawn shop and maybe find a NCAA 14 football game or something. But they've got the game so overly priced that it's video games and stuff like that it's just like everything else. They look at what people are listing stuff for on eBay, not what it's selling for. And then we get the, Jimmy, we hear it all the time. Oh, this is selling for $100 on eBay. No, it's being listed for that much. It's selling for 40. But
not to mention there's 700 listed and none of them are selling.
Exactly.
Hey, like I was telling Frank the other day at a pawn shop, I seen some like Nikes or something. So I was curious. I plugged in the number, to see what it was. They wanted like $119 for these Nike shoes, and I looked up and they're selling regularly for like $30, and they had like $119 on them, and they sell regularly on eBay for like $30. So yeah, they way overpriced their stuff.
I don't know how well that Joseph. Sorry, I was going to sell that. Joseph something. I don't know how well the early 2000s were transferred to now, but Sporting Goods does really good on eBay. Golf clubs, baseball bats, gloves, they do very, very good on eBay. And not to mention, if you probably don't have one in your area, but there's a lot of eBay sellers that if they find something really good at a yard sale, they will literally buy it at a yard sale for $2 and drive it over to Play It Again Sports and make a quick $40-$50 real quick off of stuff. Cincinnati Picker, that's a guy to watch. He used to work at a Play It Again Sports as himself. He's big time on YouTube now. He's huge. Cincinnati Picker is one of the biggest YouTubers that's doing this kind of thing. It's reselling. There's videos where he'll find someone at a yard sale for $2, and then he'll run it down to Play It Again Sports and sell it for 40 because of his knowledge, because he knew what it was. And he's like, you know what? Yeah, could I have sold this on eBay for $120? Yeah, I could have, but I just turned $2 into $40, in 15 minutes. I'm fine with that. Let's go. I don't have to list it. I don't have to ship it. I don't have to do any of that. I literally just walk, and he knows the guys down there, so he flips that stuff really fast. But if you were ever going to think about reselling, Joseph, you could do, if you have some knowledge on it. Sporting Goods does great. At tennis rackets, I don't know about right now though, but with the social distancing, but
you can play by yourself, sit up against that thing, you know.
They call that racquetball.
It'd be like ping pong, like Tom
like
Hanks by himself.
Farmer, play some wall ball.
Yeah. I was going to actually mention the Cincinnati Picker when you said that, because he played, like you said, he worked for Play It Again Sports, and he does really well on the softball bats as well. He does good on those, and like you said, the tennis rackets, you got to look at them and see if they're like one piece or something like that, and you obviously look at the serial numbers and stuff too. But
Joseph,
then,
they still do. If you can find the right baseball glove, they do very, very good. And here's the thing about it: you can find that stuff all the time. I just haven't taken the time to learn it. I see baseball bats, baseball gloves, golf clubs. All Frank knows. I see them all the time. There's guys out there that's their niche. There's guys that sell only golf clubs. There's guys that sell only baseball gloves and baseball bats. And then there's guys that sell sporting goods, and they're making a killing.
Yeah, a friend of mine, AJ from Phoenix, he hit me up about 3 weeks ago and was like, "Hey, your videos got me kind of intrigued. I'm thinking about maybe this might be something I might want to do part time." He landed up going to an auction website, bought 2 pallets full of stuff. I was telling you about this, Jimmy.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, AJ, I'm gonna be honest with you, looking at the pictures, this isn't the kind of stuff that I would want to sell on eBay, but I think you got a great opportunity to make some money on Facebook Marketplace. I said, I want you to understand the value in that is you don't have to worry about fees, shipping, returns, all that stuff. And you might be able to make a killing. And dude, he's killing it in Phoenix right now, selling that stuff. And he even told me, he goes, I got a couple Instant Pots in that pallet, but they're not complete and they're broken. I was like, dude, that stuff that's not complete and broken, that stuff you put on eBay, because that's the stuff that'll sell on eBay. And he thought I was full of crap, and so I started screenshotting him pictures of like lids for Instant Pots, and they're literally selling for like $50-$60 for a lid. You can buy a whole Instant Pot for $79.99, but people are buying just the lids for
say that $20.
Yeah, and he was like, "Holy crap, Frank! I didn't even think of that." And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, again, the biggest thing with anybody out there on the reselling standpoint is, I mean, just having a complete open mind. Where there's opportunity, there's money, and you just got to find those opportunities." And it was something he'd never thought of, because he's so early in the stages of this, and now he, like I said, he's starting to make a few bucks, and you know, he's hooked now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's like when I first started with you, Frank, going to thrift stores. I mean, 98% of the stuff we were just going through clothes, and even the yard sales I was going to, I wasn't looking at all the. Actually, I wasn't looking at clothes back then at the yard sales. I was buying the other stuff, and then missing out on the clothes. And then we went to the clothes, and there was a lot of stuff we missed out on both ends, I think, of doing that. And then now, like I said, keep an open mind on anything that you think might be weird and strange that you don't think we would buy. That's what people want. So there's been some weird things that we put on there that I think would sell, because, like I said, it's strange and weird. But don't close your mind to anything, because people buy weird stuff all the time, and everybody's different in this world. So,
right. With that, guys, I think I'm gonna get ready to close this out. We've been just over an hour. We didn't have quite the crowd we usually have. Not that I've had a big crowd, but we've been on just over an hour. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it for today. I think we're gonna try maybe going back to a later time of the day when more people are home. I just thought, East Coast, maybe more people would be on right now.
I thought everybody was at home.
Yeah, I know, right? Maybe we're not that cool. But I'm gonna.
No, I think we need to be a little bit later next time. I think
we'll talk about that after we end the broadcast.
Yep.
Just real quick, everyone, don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. To help me give this away, I'm going to be giving away this $25 eBay gift card to a viewer. But it's not till I get to 200 subscribers. So once I get to 200 subscribers, I will do a video where I give this away. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Tell your friends, family, they have a chance to win this. If they subscribe and help me get to 200, then they just have to watch a video and comment in the video, and they'll have a chance to win this. So please subscribe and help me get to 200 so I can give this away. Sorry, guys.
I like your Super Mario Brother blanket on your window, Frank.
All right, guys. So I want to thank everybody for watching. We're going to end the video right now, and we'll be on again next week, maybe Tuesday again. We'll talk about. Well, we'll be on again next week. Hopefully, eventually, we'll have a schedule. We'll have a day and a time. Right now, I'm just trying to find out what times are good, guys. There's a lot of people that go live on YouTube that are doing the same thing that we're doing. So I can tell you right now, we will not go live at 4:30 on Friday again. But we will. We'll find a good time. We'll find a good spot. It might have maybe mornings. I don't know. Mornings seem to do pretty good, but maybe we could try a late night. Let's try something 8 o'clock our time. See if there's people up, more people at home at late at night still watching YouTube. So we're gonna try a couple other times of the day, and we'll see you next time, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.